Good evening and welcome to the Kimby Davis Show. I'm your host, Kimby Davis, and this evening I want to talk to our audience about America, guns, and COVID. I don't know about you, but it feels like we're in the Twilight Zone. For people that have watched the Twilight Zone or have watched Outer Limits or any number of sci-fi shows, it feels like we're living in an alternate reality. On May 24th, 2022, an 18-year-old gunman walked into a school by the name of Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, and murdered 19 students, ages 7 to 10, including 2 teachers. And if it wasn't a week or maybe 2 weeks before that, we had another gunman who was in Buffalo and decided that he was going to go on a Sunday to a grocery store by the name of Tops and kill people, murder people. I don't understand what's happening. America has this love affair with guns. We love to cite the Second Amendment and say that everyone has a right to have a gun. And you're correct, everyone does have a right to have a gun. But why do you need to have a AR 15 or whatever the number is, an assault rifle, machine guns, things that are used in the elements of war? You know, it's June 2022. And statistics are saying that since May 24th, since the Uvalde shooting at Robb Elementary School, there have been 20 mass shootings since. 20. Let that number sit for a minute. 20 separate incidences of mass shooters. That means that someone with a gun shot multiple people. I don't understand. What is the obsession with killing people? It's not just video games. It's not just movies. Let's stop saying that, because many of us, including my age, grew up with Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny dropped anvils on people all the time, but we didn't grow up in real life to do the same. We have my brother, my younger sibling, played Mortal Kombat. He has a master's degree. He's not running around snatching people's heads off their bodies or killing people in disturbing ways as they did in the video game. I know people that play Call of Duty and some of these other games, and they are law-abiding citizens who have very average lives, but tend to enjoy a particular game. I know people that love action movies. The more bang, the more explosions, the happier they are in their movie time. And yet, after that movie is over, they go back to their life. There was a show on TV that I loved a long time ago, and it's still, I consider it a classic. It's a show called 24. There was a character named Jack Bauer. Jack Bauer could do something with a handgun and 9 bullets. He could take out 20 people. Now, I said 9 bullets, and he could take out 20 people because clearly that was television. It was to show you that this lone person who was the epitome of what was considered good could take out every bad guy. And even in the darkest of situations, he would always prevail. But this is real life. I believe it was 10 people were shot in Buffalo, New York. Many of them older seniors, elders, grandmothers, grandfathers. Robb Elementary, 19 children, babies. These are 4th graders. I have a 4th grader. I can't imagine having to send my child to school and then to be alerted that the school has been locked down and that there's an actual shooter, and then being told that I cannot go into the building to get my child. Something is wrong in America. This isn't an indictment for those who might feel like I'm railing against America. This is an indictment for people who feel that it's okay to murder people. There's a problem. Right now, our Congress is debating whether or not 18-year-olds should have the ability to purchase assault rifles. You're 18. You can't even legally drink. The age is 21. Why are you legally allowed to purchase a handgun or an assault rifle? To do what? And even for those that say, well, we hunt or we do those things, I don't know what the rules are, but we need to reevaluate. And before you criticize me, my grandfather was a hunter. He owned every kind of gun that there was, and I mean every kind of gun. But he had gun cabinets and gun lockers, and I have a huge respect for guns. And at my grandparents' house, a gun could be sitting on the table, and I knew not to touch it. I knew that. I understood that because my grandparents made sure my parents had a shotgun in the house. We knew not to touch it. Thankfully, we never had a situation where anyone broke into our house or anything like that to actually have to use it. But again, we had a respect for guns. It seems as if now we just look at a gun as an accessory. I liken it to when men in midlife crisis have to go and get a convertible or a Corvette or whatever expensive vehicle to show off. And I see people showing off with guns. You know, Kyle Rittenhouse drove across several states with his mother under the guise of protecting property and shot 3 people, 2 of which I believe died. And we hold him up as a hero. Yet, when we look around, the mass shooters that we see all look like Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't understand. In urban cities across America, we have gun violence. Midwest is no exception. We have many cities here where we have gun violence on a daily basis. But we continue to have churches shot up, schools shot up, workplaces shot up, malls. There isn't any place that you can go in America where you aren't at risk of being shot at, even in your own home. Just this past weekend in Detroit, there was a young lady, she was a 5th grader. She was sitting in her home watching TV, and someone decided to shoot. I don't believe that they were aiming at her house, but they decided to shoot at another house, and a bullet grazed or injured her. What is going on? You know, we are debating with the Supreme Court whether or not Roe v. Wade should be overturned. We keep hearing people on one side saying that babies have rights, the unborn have rights. On the other side, we hear that a woman should have control over her body. But in modern times, in 2022, in America, we've had 200 plus mass shootings. Where is the outrage? Where are the rights for those who were murdered? Those people have rights. They were actually here. We have robbed ourselves of talent, of people who could help continue to keep this country going. And if you don't understand that statement, think about it. If you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and above, the generation that is coming behind you is who will take the reins of society. If you are a teen, 20, or 30, you're still sort of in the prime and you're still handling things. But at a certain point, you're going to have to take a seat to let the next generation take over. What are we doing? We have people that are walking around with guns like this is the wild, wild west. And I always refer to one of my favorite movies, Tombstone. And there's a conversation between the brothers discussing why someone would carry a gun in town. And the line is essentially, no one's telling you can't have a gun in town, or no one's telling you can't own a gun. Just don't carry it in town. Why? Because that's where people are. You have police. We have all these mechanisms in place to protect us. We have police. We have cameras on every street corner. Everybody's recording on their phone. Nothing happens that people are not recording. And yet we still have had 200 plus mass shootings. People are still buying guns. We still hear the argument, well, this person was mentally ill, yet they were able to secure and purchase thousands of dollars in weapons. We hear that they were bullied, that they were poor, that they were financially unable to purchase the things that were needed in life, but miraculously, they were able to purchase a gun. There is a problem in America. I don't understand. It feels like an alternate reality. Every morning you wake up, I thank God that I'm alive. And every day when I leave my house, I have to pray that I can return home to my family. It is scary. Very, very scary. In America, we have a love affair with guns. The world is talking about it, and Americans are pushing back. We are the only industrialized nation to have mass shootings like this. This is not to say that other places don't. Australia has had them, from what I understand, and I believe Japan, but not at 212 plus. And we're just at the halfway point of the year. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And shame on us that we are raising children who will think that this is the norm. It is not. The norm should be that you can go outside and ride your bike, that you can walk to the store, that you can go to school and learn and be silly and goofy without the expectation of having to train for an active shooter or worrying that an active shooter will show up. We still have COVID. COVID is still rampaging across the United States. We have a new variant, it seems, every day. Now we have monkeypox, and there's conversations around that, and people are saying they don't want to wear masks. Here in Michigan, in southeastern Michigan, we were advised to start wearing our masks again outside at restaurants, retail establishments, places like that. And people got upset. Look, guys, we got to stop playing around with this disease. My son got it twice, my youngest son. And I just learned that there is a new condition called PostCovid Syndrome. PostCovid Syndrome is a particular issue in children that mimics COVID symptoms. It's almost as if you are as sick as you were with COVID. And for some, they get even sicker and end up being hospitalized. I don't know about y'all. I didn't have COVID on my bingo card in 2020. I didn't have monkeypox on my 2022 bingo card. Again, ridiculous. I didn't have mass shootings on my bingo card. Between mass shootings, between violent police encounters, between COVID, monkeypox, and everything else that's coming out, I just want to live in a bubble. It's not reality. We have to continue to live our lives. We are told to not live in fear, but it is real hard to not live in fear. I want to encourage each of you that is listening to just keep the faith that things will get better, because it has to. At some point in time, we have to realize that owning a gun can take someone's life. And either we value the ownership of having a gun, or we value the people who are being killed. And right now, it looks like we value the ownership of guns over people, which makes our whole argument about Roe v. Wade, overturning it, mute. When you don't care about people who are actually here and you say you care about the unborn, you are simply pro-birth. You want people to be born. You don't want to provide them with the social services that they need so that families can live. Right now, gas in Michigan is $5 and I believe 29 cents or 30 cents. Families are struggling. But families are struggling to buy milk, eggs, bread, butter, meat. They're also struggling to pay for gas. If you're a small business owner and you're a trucker, you are struggling. Lots of people are talking about, I just put $90 worth of gas in my car. Do I really want to go into the office? No, I need to work from home because I can't afford to commute. But then I have to worry about, well, if somebody gets upset, are they going to come into the office and start shooting now? Or is someone going to shoot at my kid's school? Summer is coming and we all love summer. It's a great time to spend time with families. But I cringe at the thought that, oh, lots of people out. Somebody's going to be upset. The proliferation of guns everywhere. Everybody has a gun. Is somebody going to get upset and start shooting when we're at a festival, when we're at a fair, when we're out on the riverfront, just walking, minding our own business? My sons and I, we have this love affair with shakes. I love chocolate. My youngest son loves chocolate. My oldest son loves vanilla. On a hot summer day, it's a great treat. We go down to the river walk. We walk and enjoy the water. Are we going to be shot? I don't know. Because everybody has a gun. But we're told that the rights of the unborn are important. What about the rights of the murdered? Please join me again on our next episode. You know me as Kim B. Davis, your host for the Kim B. Davis Show. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, everywhere on social media. And Bachelor is spelled BATCHELOR. You can see this show on youtube.com/Kimberly Bachelor Davis. You can hear this show on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, and Wisdom. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you'll join us on our next episode. And as always, remember, be magnificent.